Graduation day, time to find a way. First job in town, working night and day. Hands getting dirty, earning his keep, building a future, dreams to reap. The working man with grit and pride, in the sweat of his brow his dreams reside. Through the long hours and the endless grind, he's forging a path with a steadfast mind. Crack of dawn to the evening's light, he's chasing his dreams through every fight. With calloused hands and a steady stride, he's building a future with every tide. The working man with grit and pride, in the sweat of his brow his dreams reside. Through the long hours and the endless grind, he's forging a path with a steadfast mind. From the quiet moments when the work is done, he dreams of the future of battles won. With every paycheck and every mile, he's paving a road with a hopeful smile. The working man with grit and pride, in the sweat of his brow his dreams reside. Through the long hours and the endless grind, he's forging a path with a steadfast mind. The years roll on and the dusk turns to dawn, he'll look back with pride on the work he's done. The working man, in his heart he'll see the fruits of his labor, a legacy. The working man with grit and pride, in the sweat of his brow his dreams reside. Through the long hours and the endless grind, he's forging a path with a steadfast mind. just a blue-collar man wearing my boots, punching the clock, no time for the blues. Working the fields under the sun's blazing light, chasing the dream, putting in my fight. I keep my head high through the sweat and the tears. I'm just a blue-collar man living my life, with dirt on my hands and love in my heart. Work all day, been sing through the night. This simple life's where my dreams all start. Days are long, but I stay on my grind. Got bills to pay, but I won't fall behind. When the sun sets, I grab my guitar, singing sweet songs by the life that's hard. With a heart full of hope, I'll laugh through the pain. I'm just a blue-collar man living my life, with dirt on my hands and love in my heart. Work all day, then sing through the night. This simple life's where my dreams all start. So here's to the grind, beauty and strife. I'm just a blue-collar man loving this life. So here's to the grind, beauty and strife. I'm just a blue-collar man loving this life.
We are loaded up and trucking. We got fuel. Just got done getting fuel. And now, hopefully, we can get the hell out of here and beat the rain. I hope so. The wind's starting to pick up and the clouds are starting to build. So, it'd be cool if we didn't hit any rain. Just because Blue Lightning's washed. But, as usual, we'll roll with the punches. It's not hot, it's just really, really humid. So we're probably about 65. So, ain't terrible. Just really, really humid. Made it miserable. But we got rain in Alabama, and possible rain, I should say. And I'm really more concerned about Louisiana. There's some real bad weather out there. Tuesday afternoon, they're calling high winds and heavy rain, possible tornadoes, and possible big hail. The hail and the tornadoes don't really bother me. It's the wind. That wind gets to gusting. It pushes me all over the road, and I have to slow down because I really don't want to lay this truck over on its side. I don't think that would be too fun. But we're seeing. Sorry, it's breakfast time for me, even though it's almost 11. I haven't had food yet. I was getting kind of hungry, and so I figured, hell, while I'm getting fuel, I'll get some food. Which the pizza is nothing to brag about, because that's the only thing they had. Without candy or chocolate or something junk food, there's pizza. And it's truck stop pizza. I'll tell you that. Ever since I rode into Georgia yesterday, everything's been on fire. So, I don't know what the deal is. If everybody's don't know how to fix the state of Georgia, don't know how to fix their own state, they don't like the way it's going. So they said, screw it. We'll just burn it to the ground. Which, I mean, would work. I don't know. I'm assuming they're all controlled burns, but they're pretty much from all the way to Columbus down here to Douglas, there's just been fires. And they've been big ones too. Hell, I don't know. We got a big one back here out to the west. You'll see it. It's huge. Alright, let's go. That's this dumbass here to my left in a truck. Almost hit that car. Guess Williams doesn't care. You see all that smoke up there? That's pretty big. old school Ford dump trucks. Don't see too many of those around anymore. Tell you this much, fuel out here, out east, is stupid expensive. It hasn't gone down yet. Back home, it's starting to go back down. When I left, we were under $3 a gallon. Here, I think it was $3.70. I think that's what it was. $3.70, $3.65, something like that. I don't know what the hell happened. My phone just quit recording. Out here like an idiot talking to myself. I guess homeboy lost some 4x4s. Looks like quite a few of them. Like, that's a lot. No, that's probably 25, 30 of them sitting in the middle of the road. Better them than me. That's all I can say. You know, that's the crazy part about being a commercial vehicle. Or just being some farmer Joe Blow. Is that if I were to do that, would have lost my load like that, that's a ticket. Unsecured load. It's points taken off your license. But Joe Blow over here, or fucking Pablo, whatever the hell his name is, they can lose anything they want. Ah, it's okay. Just strap it down better next time. In my opinion, kind of a double standard, honestly. It doesn't matter if you're a commercial vehicle or not. I can still kill somebody. So is why is one a ticket and the other one's not? The same outcome still happens. That's just me. What do I know? I'm just some stupid truck driver. A nuisance to the rest of the world. Oh well. Those are tiny enclosed trailers. I don't like to haul those. Them little bitty ones, they bounce too much. They move. Yeah, they may be easier to haul because they're light. You can fit more of them on you, but I'd much rather carry the big ones like what we got. don't get me wrong. These ones, these big bastards, they still move. But they don't move as much. You'll pull them on straight and they'll come off fairly straight. It's not going to be 100% like how you pull them on, but it'd be close enough. So, but I've hauled them little ones. They move too much. I pulled it on there straight as narrow. It come off crooked as hell. So, that, and I think it actually moved backwards quite a bit. If I remember correctly, I think it damaged the back door because it moved back so far and hit the jab on the other trailer. So we don't buy those anymore unless it's specifically asked for. But I've been doing this for a little over a year, and that was actually, that little bitty trailer was the first trailer I've ever hauled. Everything's been 20 and up. Well, I say that 16 and up. Like we got an 18 footer on the nose right now, which I don't like. I'd much rather put the 24 up front just because it has a little bit more heft to it. It weighs a little bit more, and with this going through rain and heavy wind, I'd just much rather have it on my drives to put more, because these things don't weigh nothing, but to put more weight on my drives than what the 18 footer would. But with this being a 7.5 foot ceiling, it would put me over height, extremely over height. So, and I really don't feel like smacking bridges. Just a personal thing. Because here's the deal, you smack a bridge, you damage it enough, guess what? You just bought yourself a bridge. So, let me tell you, they ain't cheap by any means. Good speed. I like the way he runs. We just follow him all the way back to Texas. Won't be no big deal. We'll probably, I don't know, if I don't have any licks out of today, like I would, what was it? Day before yesterday. He's turning. Well, we ain't gonna follow him for very long. But I don't have any problems like I did Saturday. We should make it back to Shreveport, if not into the Texas line. A little honey hole back there at that rest area. It's pretty clean. They keep on top of it. The parking though, the dumbasses that park there don't realize that you're supposed to be able to fit 2 trucks, one in front of the other. And they don't realize that, so they park. The tandems of their trailers will be over that line significantly, and then you can't nose in behind them because you'll be sticking too far out and you'll be blocking traffic going in and out, or out at least, or getting through. So that's a pet peeve of mine. So I usually park at the end, or I try not to park on the ramp, because the ramp is pretty long and you can pick up some speed, and 7 should be the maximum, not 8 or 10 or whatever the hell you can think of. Now, if you're running a double decker race trailer, yeah, you're gonna have a 12, 11.5 foot ceiling, but that makes sense. But there ain't no way in hell you're getting it on my trailer. That's gonna have to be pulled as a single. So, no idea how that's gonna work. Hope nobody orders one that big. I mean, if y'all do, y'all do. That's part of it. That's my job. I gotta figure it out. But would much rather not. I'm gonna have to do some sketchy. Well, it's not really sketchy. It's just something we ain't never done before. Got a gooseneck, 30-foot gooseneck. Have no idea how we're gonna load that. Probably gonna have to hook it up to a pickup or something and back it on there, which that can go south really quick. This trailer is 102 inches wide. The trailers we haul are 102 inches wide, so everything's just right on the very edge, and it just barely fits on here. So, at least with me pulling it up with the winch, it's kind of controlled. I mean, not really, but when you get somebody in there that you know, back in that gooseneck on, that I don't know what the hell they're doing, not paying attention, not listening, I can see it, and not getting it straight. That's the big thing, is getting everything straight. Because if you can put it on there crooked, it can go south really fast. Reason why right now cargo trailers are a hot ticket right now. Pretty much not everything the car haulers and utilities haven't been put on hold, just nobody's buying them right now, so we're not building them. Last year we did a whole bunch of car haulers and goosenecks and utilities. Hardly did cargoes. Like I said, this year, up until this point, I mean, we just started March. I've been to Georgia more in these 3 months, than I have been all of last year. So, I'm not complaining about the Georgia runs. Georgia runs pay pretty good. You get some pretty good miles in. And if you don't have any stupid nonsense like traffic or anything like that, I mean, it's 20 hours from Amarillo to here. So, you can turn that in a day and a half. No problem. But, I rolled in here last night. I think I finally got here about 5:30, 5:30, and made some pretty good miles coming that second day. Didn't have hardly any traffic. I mean, yeah, the roads were busier than normal for a weekend, especially on a Sunday. But we didn't have any traffic jams or anything like that. It wasn't sitting like it was Saturday. I probably sat together, I don't know, probably about 2.5, 3 hours just sitting there in traffic. We had that wreck right outside Van. And then we had rolled into Shreveport. Had just a general traffic jam just because of people. Sat there for about 30 minutes. 11 o'clock, whatever, I don't remember now. But it was kind of late, and that town usually isn't busy at that hour, but it was that day. I was busy with hell that day. Everybody was out. That, and I figured with it being Sunday, there wouldn't be a whole lot of people out, but there's quite a few people, but not enough to make a problem for me. But if we could have a pretty good day today, burn some miles, not have any licks, should make it at least to Shreveport without any issues. I don't know where we'll take our 30. Probably there's an abandoned truck stop right off of US 80 and I-20. A lot of guys park there overnight through their 10. But we go down to the end of the road, it just US 80 just completely stops right there at the end. You go over I-20 and boom, that's the end of it. There's a little truck stop hidden back there in the corner. And I've done my 30 there before. I don't know if I'd want to take my 10-hour break there. It's kind of secluded. Not to say I don't think you get messed with, but if you do get messed with, you're out in the middle of nowhere. There's really that nobody can get to you quick if you needed help or anything. That'd be a real good place for people to mess with you. Mess with your cargo or just vandalize stuff. I haven't had any problems yet with people messing with me. But there's always a first for everything. There's not a whole bunch of cops out, and hopefully by the time we get there, Shreveport, Vicksburg still. So I know Shreveport's going to be closed because it's going to be so late, but hoping Vicksburg's closed. They normally shut down 4:30, 5 o'clock, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. I don't usually get messed with them too bad. It's just annoying, and they just sit there's all girls that work that, and they just sit there. All they do is run your numbers, check your weight, and kick you out. That's all they do. And they turn that free pass off, and they leave that scale wide open, so they pull in all the trucks. It's kind of annoying. There's been times I've been on the Vicksburg scale. I've sat in line for 30 minutes. For some reason, they had it backed up all the way to the interstate. And I almost got smacked one time. That time, actually, had another truck not paying attention and almost smacked the back of me. And so I figured if they're gonna come and get me, I was gonna tell them that they're a bunch of idiots, because that's not safe at all. So I jumped out of line. They never came and got me. But usually there's not any officers that work for that. There's just them girls that sit in that building. That's all they do. It's gonna be a long day. Got a late start. Just because we had some miscommunication about trailers. Trying to figure out which one I was actually taking. Oh, look at that. You don't see too many of those anymore. Old U model map. I'm a sucker for them R model Macs like that from the 70s and 80s. But those U's, they're unique. It's got an offset cab. That cab is sit all the way over to the left for visibility. And never got to drive one. I've heard from the old timers that sometimes they were a pain in the ass to drive. But they were nice too, but they were a pain in the ass. I was working construction, used to drive one all the time as a water truck on site. It was the twin stick with the triplex in it. And that was a transmission that is very unique. The old timers that know about the triplexes. It's a very interesting transmission. I think that was the first truck I've ever driven that actually was a twin stick. Guy on YouTube channel called Twin Sticks, Mark out there, up there in Maple Leaf Land, Canada, the northern pussies. He has a 86. Now I can't even remember what year it is now exactly, but it's a 359 with the Corvette dash, and it's got a A model cat. I think it's a 4.25. But it's got a 6 and a 4, I think is what it has. A 6 main and a 4 brownie. They calls it little by little. It's a slick little truck. It's definitely slick now since he finally got it repainted. But he's a good guy. He's funny. It started out when he bought that truck that he was going to do the Iron Duke truck, which was another movie that Jerry Reed was in. But he goes back and forth on it. He was going to originally restore it as the Iron Duke truck, and then he got the wild hair to chop it and shorten the windows and the doors and all that. I don't know if he's actually doing that still or what. And then he recently bought an 86 or an 88 Freightliner. And I mean, it is, other than the paint job, but that's the other thing that he's going to do is it's the same cab and the exact same sleeper as the Pork Chop Express from Good Trouble in Little China. But he's kind of put that off because now he's also got 76 Le Mans that he's doing up as the Buford car. And then he bought a 81 or early 80s Trans Am that he's doing up as Bandit 1. He's got his hands full. He's real funny. I just watch him because he restores the same stuff that I would like to restore one day. Don't know if it's going to be anytime soon because I don't have the money for it, or when I do have the money for it, I just don't ever have the time. So, but he's a real good guy. I would love to meet him and just sit down and BS with him. So far, so good. This road is riding real good. Haven't had any problems so far. Which, again, it's always the first hour and a half that you're gonna have the most problems because everything's trying to settle in and see how it's gonna ride. But so far, so good. Man, there's just a lot of trucks out here. Doesn't look like it now, but when the clouds they're starting to build up. Well, you get 500-600 miles down the road, then they'll be really built up and it'll start to rain. Just hope we don't get caught up in it. And it's not that I can't drive in the rain, it's just I'm real light. We got super singles on this truck. everything else, it looks fantastic on paper. But in reality, it just doesn't work. I remember when Super Singles come out and all the big carriers and everybody was going to them, and you know, it's been 4 or 5 years now, and nobody's willing to buy them off you. You have to sell the rims for dirt cheap. Just because nobody wants them, nobody runs them anymore because everybody's realized how much junk they are. It's just one big wide tire, and in the rain it just becomes a flotation tire pretty much. Rain and snow, it just becomes a flotation tire, and you don't get traction through the asphalt or concrete. You just stay on top of that film of water, and you slide all over the place. Yeah, I know, if you put on your tractor and your trailer, you run them on that combination, you probably save about 1,500 pounds, or at least that's what they say. They also say you get better mileage, better fuel mileage, but for the cost of them, I mean, to buy a used tire, it's $500. You buy a brand new tire, it's anywhere from $900 to $1,500. And then say you blow it out on the road, like I've had several. I've blown 2 tires out, and that's it. You blow that tire, you're stuck on the side of the road. You can't limp it in. And I've been lucky enough, I caught it just in time. As soon as it blew, I pulled over the shoulder immediately. So I was able to save the rims, but you get some guys out here that don't pay attention or don't catch it in time, and you destroy a rim. And then you gotta go out and buy a rim, which is, again, nobody has used rims, or when you're stuck on the side of the road, nobody has used, so you have to buy new, and that's $800 just by itself, on top of a $900 to $1,500 tire. Then you got a $300 to $500 service call, depending on how far away you are. It's just, I don't know, to save weight and save fuel economy, which I think the fuel economy was made up. I don't think you get that big of a difference in between super singles and duals, but it's just not worth it, especially for like traction. You need it the most in the rain and in the snow. Mud, you get in the mud or soft ground, yeah, you're stuck. Once that tire spins, you've lost the battle already. I just think it's just a scam. It's a joke. Like everything else is great on paper. Just in reality, it doesn't work. Turkey vultures, my bad. But we'll see y'all on down the road, and we'll do some time lapses and stuff like that. Well, something happens, I'll jump back in here and we'll talk about it some more. We'll see y'all in a bit. Alrighty, just to give y'all a quick update, we're on US 80. just west of Montgomery, over between Montgomery and Selma, Sima, whatever it is. Do you remember this town, whatever the hell it's called? I had a wrong way driver, was it 2 episodes ago, that was in my lane. It's the same road. I'm almost to that town, but again, because it was dark, I can't tell you exactly where it was at. So I was going to start filming and see what happens. But it's somewhere in here, and I'm probably about in between 20 and 15 miles just east of it. So it's somewhere in here. Yep, right there. That's where it was. I only walked up 1 tire, but that's where it happened. I shouldn't say 1 tire, just 1 side. So yeah, I don't think ever in my entire, even in the future driving career, I would have never thought of that. And you know, it's a possibility. Anything's a possibility, but I never figured that would happen. And get as lucky as I did about not hitting them and paying attention. Not too many people can say they had a wrong way driver and missed them.